It is time for the third epic boss. We're going here to the Devourer of Flames to fight Sulfurious. So you see recommended level of 46, and another thing you'll notice is that there are all fire-based enemies. One more thing to point out, right now there's a special event going so that Galore drops here, but that is not normal. I don't want anyone to get their hopes up. Now since it's an all fire-based team, we're going to use a all water-based team. And you can have different variations in this and still have a lot of success, but I would recommend having an all water-based team for this boss. So I'm going to take Galore. He's always a strong, solid teammate to have in there, or character. And then we're going to go with Yasmin Bloom for our healer. Chief Nubnub is great, but we don't want to be taking extra damage with every hit that he's taking. Your other two characters you can switch up. I took Yokozuna for one thing because I keep him very close to max level since he's on my defending team, and then I also have Stonefist because his level was very close. I would recommend replacing at least one of those last two with King York if you can. One of the keys to this boss you're going to end up seeing here in a minute is DPS. You don't want him to use his ultimate kind of area effect spell. He will likely use it on us, and you'll get to see what happens because of that. But don't do it for yourself. Alright, we are ready. So you use that Mark of Death, that first skill that King York has. The only reason I didn't do that for my own is that he's at like level 8 or something for me, and I just don't want to spare all those experience pots. I think I can get through it without him just by being careful, but it certainly would be a lot easier if he was on your team. So you can see there's only 4 levels within this dungeon, which is nice. It's a lot shorter. You don't have a particularly difficult intermediate boss. And this first level goes pretty easily. You could pretty much just auto attack through it. Get Galore to do the big damage on this other guy, and we'll finish these two off. Another thing I have to keep in mind when doing this is I don't have the same healing potential as I would if I was using Chief Nubnub. So I've got to be a little bit more careful as my characters get worn down. And with the group of 5, I'm going to go ahead and use Polar Pounding. So most of them are gone. We'll finish them up. And they're frozen, so we've got a whole nother turn to take them out anyway. Yeah, Stonefist has a nice reduction in attack and defense he can put on the other side, but you definitely could swap out for him. Yokozuna kind of works on the other end. I'll take one of these guys out quickly. And I'm going to go ahead and use this Sumo Stomp to increase our defense. So this is kind of the analogy to the mini-boss. Those guys do a fair amount of damage. And of course they both attack my weakest character, which is not always appreciated. I'm going to go ahead and taunt with him then. So if Bloom was up to her full level, she wouldn't have had quite as much trouble with that, but still, it helps to have extra tanks in here. And even though they're dazed, they were able to do both of them connected on that. But here you can see as they're attacking him with their normal attacks, they're not doing a whole lot. Alright, if it's just coming to finishing somebody off, I don't like to waste Galore's attack on it. But these guys, they're armored and they've got a fair amount of health, so they actually do take quite a bit to take out. So everyone's close to full health. Once we finish this guy off, we'll be able to go on to the boss. That nice crit. And finish him off. Okay. So you may recognize Sulfurious. This is that same battle you did as part of the early tutorial. Unfortunately, this time around, he's a lot harder. But on the good side, we have an all-water team now. And we can do a lot of damage to take him out. So most of his normal attacks don't actually do that much damage. Not to an all-water team that's close to the right level. So you can just take him down over time. And here, the other nice thing for having Yasmin here is that she increases all the water-type allies' health, their total health pool by 20%, which makes this relatively tanky group even tankier. Go ahead and use these heals early on. Even on Yasmin, that didn't do a whole lot of damage. And remember, she does have this Cure Wounds that'll take away the status effect as well. So neither of those skills have particularly long cooldowns. I'm kind of alternating through here on the defense buff and then the attack and defense debuff. So that should lower his attack, which is good because all the heals are on cooldown right now. And we all have a defense buff as well. And this is kind of slow, but we're not in any real danger. Now he's pretty much at full health. I'm going to go ahead and taunt with him. And this one you'll see a lot. So this isn't the ultimate attack, but it is a multi-person attack, and it does a fair amount of damage. And he can do that pretty regularly, which can be a pain. But if you can just keep working down the health here. Rock's a little lower than I want him to be, but we're at the halfway mark. And we'll get those heals coming back around quickly. We'll do this defense buff. Alright, 2 more turns. We got still Stonefist having that taunt on. More area damage, starting to sweat a little bit with Rock dropping down. Where's that Nub when I need him? At the same time, we do have our revives, so we can use those. It looks like we're going to need one on Rock. Sometimes the timing just doesn't work out well with our heal. We got it just this turn, but we'll keep going. Keep attacking and we'll get that group heal. Alright, and keep attacking him down. Now you can see where King York would really help out in this situation. So that's the first. You get kind of a 2-turn warning to get ready for his massive attack, and it is going to be massive. We'll probably have at least 1 character die, maybe 2. So that's his second one, so the next turn around he's going to use that, and we could take a lot of damage. So actually, he didn't quite make it, and that was it. It's a little easier than we were expecting. If he does make it all the way through, he does massive fire-based damage. And I did get that previously, and I was able to live through it with a couple characters, but it took out Yasmin. So just in case you get there, again, I do recommend bringing King Yorick along so that you can take him out. Here, nicely, we get Igo Rock and another one for Phenol. So that's all it takes. Not particularly difficult, especially with those tanks in there, and with King Yorick it would have been all the easier. So thanks again. Thanks for watching.